Hello, my name is Dr. William James Jones. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist here in Pasadena, California. And if you're considering therapy with me or with anyone here with the part of the Jones Psychology Group, I want to tell you a little bit about how we work, how I work, and who I typically work with. So, age range, typically 18 years old to about roughly 55, mostly adults. And the population I tend to be the most effective with are struggling with a couple of things, at least at the outset. Some people are struggling with anxiety or depression, issues around identity, existential concerns, quality of life concerns, relational concerns. So how do we go about treating this? How do we go about working with the individual to help them not only reduce their symptoms, but to enhance their quality of life, maybe their lived experiences throughout life? So we have four principles here, four ways that we work that support this ideology of integrative depth psychology. We're the only place in the country where you can get this specific style of training, not just training, but treatment. I work with a lot of doctoral students as well, so that's the training piece. But what does that mean, integrative depth psychology? So, four pillars. One, culture, multiculturalism, cultural competence, cultural awareness, cultural sensitivity, cultural humility, and how your culture, whether we're talking about gender, ethnicity, race, class, citizenship, immigration, you name it, we want to start there. How does that form who you are, your identity, your sense of self, how you relate to others, how you relate to you, how you relate to the world, how you see the world, and why there might be distress in your life around those issues. So we do a deep dive into that, starting with your story, what makes you you. The second component would be a humanistic platform. It's very relational, the style of work that we do. There's this not only an unconditional positive regard in a typical Rogerian sense, but there is a relational component that is critical to the work. You and I, we co-create an environment, which kind of bleeds into the third thing, intersubjectivity work. Intersubjective psychoanalytic psychotherapy, meaning that you and I are co-creating this system where we look at conscious and unconscious phenomena, things that have happened in the past perhaps, that influence the way that you behave today, or influence the way that you experience the world, that might be disturbing to you or might be problematic. And individuals that wake up and they're not quite sure why it's hard to get out of bed and why they're anxious about all kinds of things. They can't feel settled in themselves, maybe confident as a kid or as a teenager or not confident as an adult. All those things matter. All those things are connected. The last piece would be this Jungian framework. Carl Jung, Jungian framework, meaning that we're going to look at some key elements here. What does it mean to be a self? What does it mean to individuate? What does it mean to live your most authentic life? That might be the issue right there. So we're going to explore this. We're going to try to understand it. We're going to make meaning of it. We're going to come up with strategies. We're going to sit in it. Sometimes that's exactly what we need to do, is just sit in it together and understand, wow, this is how my life feels, and someone sees it. Someone validates it, and someone can be there with me to help guide me out of it. That's a small taste of what therapy might look like for you. Here at the Jones Psychology Group, it'd be my honor to get to meet you.